Welcome back to Under Oath. You know, I was thinking about all the sci-fi stuff we talked about earlier, and I'm wondering, you know, there's a lot of things that we were promised
Yes.
that we didn't get.
That's right.
And are we really that bothered by it?
No.
Like flying cars.
I mean,
Do you know how we would die in the flying car?
we should not
We
have
would
that.
absolutely die.
We shouldn't give
I don't
people
trust
that.
people on the road,
I'm with you on that.
much less in the air.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people can't pay attention now.
No.
Now, here's what scares me: the remote cars.
I don't trust them yet.
They're out there.
I know they're out there.
On the road.
I don't trust it yet, man.
They don't even have a robot in the seat. It's just a car driving.
Mm-hmm.
At least I feel better if there was a fake robot.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just a car.
Just a car. Trust me, it'll go where you need it to. Just put your hand on the wheel. It'll be fine.
I don't. It scares me because the road doesn't have a track on it. It's not like Disney.
Mm-mm.
Oh, I did this terrible thing. I did a terrible thing the other day. I was with a young lady going on a ride at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it was Mr. Toad.
Ah.
And Mr. Toad is the car you get on, and Mr. Toad still exists in Disneyland.
Not Disney World.
Not in Disney World anymore.
Yeah.
And she'd never been on the ride before. So
Her first time.
So I said, I'm going to let you drive.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't tell her that the wheel doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything, man.
So I'm coaching her as we're going through the whole thing. Turn left, turn left, turn left. Oh, my God. And I'm telling her, oh, you're so good at this. Have you been on this ride before?
You are a horrible person.
And the worst thing is we got through the rest of the ride, and she's like, she's exhausted. She is so tired.
She thought she was.
And she goes, oh, my God, that's hard. How do people do that? And I was laughing. And she goes, what are you laughing about? I said, did you actually believe you were driving?
Oh, my God. And she did.
And horror hit her face because I never like to feel stupid about something.
No.
But that joke lasted for about 4.5 minutes.
You told her that, like, you kept reminding her of that, like, every.
Oh, you're so good at this.
Mm.
Oh, I am.
You're a horrible person, bro.
Oh, my God. It was the worst man trick ever.
Okay.
And I should have paid.
You should have.
But I didn't.
You didn't.
But rides now are complicated.
Yeah.
Now roller coasters are vicious.
Yes.
They used to be a lot. I remember when Space Mountain was like, oh, this is the worst.
Yeah.
Now they're going, okay, we're going to spin you around 6 times in the first loop.
Yeah. Or we're going to launch you at the very beginning of the roller coaster, but backwards.
I don't like doing backwards.
I loved it. It's amazing.
You know, you went your whole life without doing those.
I
rides.
did. Now
So you know why? I think you could do it now because you didn't. It's like an NFL football player who doesn't play all season and can play the playoffs.
Oh, I'm fully rested?
Yes,
I'm not
you're
hurt?
fully rested. You're not hurt. You're good. You're going, oh, I didn't get sick when I was a kid.
My
It's
back's
perfect.
not hurt. Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think your brain hasn't gone, okay, we're not doing this anymore.
But that's something I never thought that we would see. Roller coasters that launch, roller coasters that go backwards. The technology is changed so much, but there are a couple of things that I was promised that we actually got from movies. Actually, cartoons. I always thought it was cool in the Jetsons when you could see the person you were talking to. I always thought, man, that would be amazing if we could do that. And now, what, year 2000?
But we knew that was coming. That's been happening
But
for a while.
we never got to see it.
They had TV phones.
Yeah.
It just so happens that our phone does it in our hand.
Yes.
But they've had TV phones for about 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So,
But I was a kid, and I remember thinking
Yeah.
that would be cool to actually have. Watching the Jetsons and seeing him talk to his boss, his wife.
I thought we'd be in space by now.
What do you mean? Like
Regular people.
Regular people, like we got
Not
communities
just
up there?
astronauts. I thought we'd be in space. I thought we would probably be taking trips to the moon. I mean, that was the Fifth Element kind of thing.
Yeah, we were kind of
would
promised that.
That
yeah.
we would be, space travel would be
We'd be on
farther ahead.
Mars. You go vacation there and do stuff. Yeah.
I thought we'd solve some of our problems.
Yeah.
I thought we'd solve the environmental issues.
Energy crisis.
Yeah, because I mean, Back to the Future, they had the nuclear thing attached to the car.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd have that.
Was it Mr. Fusion?
Mr. Fusion.
Yeah. You could just put garbage in it and it would just make fuel.
I talked to a woman from Bloomberg once about a year ago, and I asked her, I said, is science going to save us?
Oh.
And she said, absolutely. And
she said that.
And hearing a scientist say that, somebody of her caliber, was so comforting.
It made me feel a little bit better.
And I'm wondering right now, you know, with the stuff going on, supercomputers, all the stuff we're figuring out, you know, you think it's being held back because people make too much money off of fossil fuels? I mean, do you think it's the fossil fuel industry that's keeping us? Because right now, the electric car industry is now going backwards.
Yes.
Because they realize, And any genius could have figured this out. Yeah, the power grid will not support
No.
everyone.
Having that. No.
It won't support 1/8 of us having it.
No.
How are you going to get all of us on it?
It's true.
And then you have to dispose
The batteries the right way.
the batteries.
You can't just go
No,
out
they have to be basically like, unless we figure out a way to recycle them perfectly, they're like nuclear rods.
Yeah.
You have to store them in a place.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe someday they'll figure it out and they'll go, yeah, we can just put it in Mr. Fusion. But until then, we're kind of screwing ourselves.
Here's the one thing I do know about America. We run on capitalism. And if people are making money off something, they're not just going to let you take it away.
And I went to a conference in Vegas the other day, well, a couple of weeks ago, and looking at the technology that existed, the AI, for example, there are these two guys who do a podcast, and they've digitized themselves. Within 5 minutes, they digitize their sound and voice. So
meaning they make a virtual.
It's not a max headroom. It's perfect.
It looks like just like them.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
They video, they do this, and we'd be wearing our clothes. They're not going to switch our clothes, but it'd be like you and I. They tape us doing this, and then they write the script, and they wrote a podcast, and nobody can tell the difference between their regular podcast and the podcast they snuck in.
It looks that good.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Sounds perfect.
It doesn't sound choppy.
Nope.
It doesn't sound like AI.
People do not know that they snuck it in about a month ago, and nobody noticed.
And that's the big one. We just said it. The fact that we actually have AI.
Yeah.
We have it now.
Well, there's a difference between AI
And sentient.
and the technology that they're using. Yes, the AI will take every bit of knowledge and write something. You know, that's when you think of ChatGPT, something writing everything for you. But the idea of being able to create art is scary to me. Like when you say, do a cover based on this is a dark moon and everything else like that. I've seen AI, you can't tell it was created by a
And it looks beautiful. That's the scary part.
And everyone's mad.
Of course they're mad.
Oh, this is AI. And it's better than anything you have ever done.
That's the scary part, because how many people are going to be pushed to the wayside so AI can do it for them?
So what does that mean? It means that eventually when something, how can I say, makes something obsolete, we move on.
That's right.
So I think that's the worst thing about technology is we lose our creative process a little bit.
You lose something.
I mean, there's whole South Park episodes created using AI.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, imagine, and I'm kind of into this. Imagine if I said, all right, I want the Michael Keaton Batman fighting the Adam West Batman and the Michael Caine as a young kid as Robin. And you start picking this out and you said, and I want a 90-minute show fighting the Joker, dealing and whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it will be able to do that.
That's right.
And that'll be the future of cinema.
But here's the scary part about AI, my friend. AI has gotten people thinking that certain people are in danger of losing their jobs. This is what AI has created. Let me tell you, artists, like you said, screenwriters, anyone who does anything creative when it comes to digitally doing something.
Copywriters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Web designers.
How many people are going to go by the wayside because of AI?
The jobs are going to become obsolete.
Yeah.
For example, at the end of every sci-fi movie, you see all the artists that do the
credits.
backgrounds.
It's going to be one name. ChatGPT.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
You'll have somebody create a background in 20 minutes that would normally take an artist, days.
Yeah.
20 days. Now, what people don't realize is cartoons. Cartoons used to be hand-drawn.
I remember 2D.
And painted.
Yes.
What they used to do is they drew it in pencil, then they photographed it onto a celluloid.
Celluloid, yeah.
And then women would paint it.
Yes.
Now, there were 50, 60, 100 artists doing this.
Yes.
Now it's done by computer.
That's right.
That number is now maybe 2%.
It's crazy.
So yes, people will lose their jobs. It'll become obsolete. The milk bottle, for example.
That's scary, though. Think about it. AI is making so many people's jobs obsolete. It's like being a white quarterback.
I love how Dave laughed at that.
That's funny, though, because he totally understood.
The problem is this. I didn't laugh because it's kind of true.
It's kind of true, yeah.
White guys can't run. No, I watched a lot of running.
Yeah.
But then again, there are a lot of, I think that's one of those positions where, white people tend to excel in.
Gotcha.
They get the big white guy who can throw.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing. He can't run, but he can throw the ball.
There you go. I throw the
But
ball.
there's things that we are going to go, but we're going to have to figure out different jobs. But then again, what we forgot, what's happening right now, and this is a fact, we are not having kids on the level we did before.
No, because generations now, and this next generation has made a decision. We don't want kids. We don't need that to be happy.
How many kids do you have?
4.
I have 2.
Last I checked, 4.
My parents had 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think people now go, well, I don't need 4.
Or I want 1, or I don't want any.
Yeah. And I know people are like that. They go, I don't want kids.
Yeah.
So I think technology has made us selfish.
Oh, absolutely.
We're being entertained solely now by our screens and not by the people around us.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need to live vicariously through our kids anymore. And we're living primarily through what we're seeing on our phones. We play our games on our phones. We get our entertainment. We get our news. We talk to people. We are never alone when we have our phone.